So in this video, I'm just a point of stagnation. Fell behind a little bit last week. I guess it whooped me a bit. I'm like just exhausted, I think. I don't know if it's so much as like physically tired, though that's certainly an element. That's definitely a part of how I'm feeling like physically exhausted. We had to move 2 times over the course of 3 months. We had to relocate from South Florida. And then because of a number of insane circumstances, we had to relocate to another place in town. I would not recommend moving your entire household 2 times in a single quarter with children in tow. It's not pleasant, to put it mildly. The Q4 thing, I think I've shared this on another video, but weirdly enough, I was taken off guard by it. I can't even reconcile with how that's the case. Weeks before the end of Q3, I was like, I'm not going to get bested. I'm not going to get bested this time around by the start of the quarter. And I'll tell you, I feel it right now. It's like getting bested by it again. I'm struggling on the growth plan to take it deeper, to go into smart rocks. It's a resistance. I don't want to take it deeper. Part of me does. I know the objectives, right? I've got 4 big goals this quarter, and they're just that. At the growth plan level, if you've followed me for any period of time, you know that we build out a higher level planning horizon, and then we decompose that down into smart rocks, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. Then we'll turn those smart rocks into project plans. I guess I'm dog fooding the strategy execution system because the same thing I see with users all the time. They don't want to do it. They sign up for it knowing that they need to, or something about it is important, but they don't want to do it. I don't know if that even makes sense, but I have to believe that a big part of that is because you have to face yourself. When people see you, they see you. No matter how hard you try to shuffle and flex and posture, people see you. It can be rough, but you are the easiest person to fool. Fooling yourself is the easiest thing to do. I've doubled down on this front-facing accountability, on this like build in public accountability stuff, because it's important. It's important now more than ever to get the job done, to execute. And I've had difficulty with that. I feel like I've been better in the last year than I've ever been. But because of that awareness, how hard I actually have to go, how much further I have to go to reach the place that I want to be. And that can be rough, like coming to terms with that. In a very real way, I'm trying to box myself in, give myself no option but to succeed, essentially. At the very least, greatly reduce the likelihood of failure. In that spirit, I guess I'm like, I've got to do some of these tasks to get a little more momentum going. Also knowing that when you're committed, you have to do this. It's helpful. I'm losing a little bit of that trepidation. I look back at a younger, less experienced version of myself, and I didn't want to, I was heavily concerned with what I thought the perception of me would be, especially in my early 20s. I wanted to manage my image, right? Whatever image that was. And I've never been really public person, but I wanted to manage the perception. And as time's gone on, I've realized what's most important is just to be real with yourself. That's hard. I think that's been some of the lessons of my life have come from that. Be real with yourself. And if you can do that, you're going to be successful. I use the analogy all the time. You're the easiest person to lie to. When it's all said and done, the truth is the most important person not to let down. You're the most important person not to give up on, not to lie to. That's the stuff that builds real momentum. Having a level of confidence and self assuredness that if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it for me. That's legit. I aspire to that level of ability. And I feel like more often than not, I miss that mark. I wish it wasn't the case, but it's true. Like, there's so much that I want to see done that isn't. Again, at a certain level, it's like John Lewis Gadd, in his book on grand strategy. You have to align your aspirations with your capabilities. And I flipped that a lot as a younger guy. I've said you have to match your discipline with your desire. A part of that was because I wasn't afraid to destroy myself in pursuit of a goal. Just enough gas in the tank for a one-way trip type of thing. Of course, now with the family, with children, and other responsibilities, I've made a lot of money. I've lost a lot of money. I had positions of authority and influence and prominence. I've had obscurity and irrelevance, and been in circumstances that have caused me to stare into the abyss for years and question everything. And then I've had situations where the plan came together. So it's not all about resource acquisition. I believe that very profoundly. I've changed my tempo a lot, especially in the last year and a half since my son was born, realizing that, man, you never get time back. You will be obsolete before you know it. It's all going to disappear. So the meaning that you have along the way, that means something. Your health along the way, that means a lot. So I'm going to keep on moving this boulder uphill. This is just a quick kind of cleanup session for me sharing the status, and I'll pick back up in the next one.